So imagine you've got a computer keyboard and it looks like this. You might say, oh geez, give me some letters. This thing's all blank. I don't know where any of the letters are or what buttons to push. That's kind of what it's like learning the guitar. When it looks like this, you got a blank fretboard and you can imagine trying to put the letters underneath each of these spots of the strings. When you do that, it looks like this. And we're trying to learn the alphabet of the fretboard. For starters, you want to learn just A, B, C, D, E, F, G. And that's what I'm here to help you do today. Learn the notes of the guitar fretboard. So you'd want to learn this for the same reason you'd want to learn the letters of a computer keyboard. You want to be able to type words, and in this case you want to be able to play music. You want to know what notes you're using in order to chain them together and connect them into melodies and chords. Now let's look at the notes on the guitar on just one string, the A string. You'll notice that it's just the alphabet, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, but you have these letters with sharps in between them, A sharp, C sharp, D sharp, F sharp, and G sharp. But some of them don't have sharps. Between B and C there's no sharp, and between E and F there's no sharp. Now a good way to visualize this is on the piano keyboard. Let's take a look. The piano keyboard is one of the easiest ways to visualize the letters of a guitar string, because on a piano keyboard it's black and white. We're going to start with the A here, the purple key, and then that goes to A sharp. Then it goes to B, and you'll notice there's nothing between C. So no sharp after B. That's important to remember. Then we'll cycle back around and we'll be at C sharp, D, D sharp, then E to F, there's no sharp once again, then to F sharp, G, G sharp, and then it starts back over at A. So the most important thing to remember here is that there's no sharp or black key between B and C and between E and F. That way when you go back to your guitar string, you can see here, as you go from A, there's always a sharp. But between B and C, those notes will always be right next to each other on the guitar. Then you've got C sharp, D has its sharp after it, and between E and F, once again, E and F will always be next to each other on the guitar. There's no note between them. Then F sharp, G, G sharp, and A. Now, you can do this on any guitar string by starting at a different point. Let's take the E strings for example. Here you can see both of the E strings are tuned the same, of course, so all the letters are going to match all the way up. From E to F, they're right next to each other. There's no sharp. Then you've got F sharp, G, G sharp, A sharp, B doesn't have a sharp, so it goes right to C. Then you've got C sharp, D, D sharp, and E. And beyond the 12th fret, it repeats the same way, starting at the 13th fret. How about one more real quick, the D string. If I start on the D string, that means I've got a sharp right away. E and F are right next to each other, then I've got an F sharp, G, G sharp, A sharp, and there's B and C right next to each other again. C sharp and D at the 12th fret, and then it repeats again starting at the 13th fret. Now go do this on your own. Pick a string, maybe go to the B string, and walk your way up that string saying all the letters out loud to yourself. Like the hours of a clock, there are 12 notes in an octave, starting with A and adding the sharps as we discussed before, going around the circle until you hit G sharp, and then it starts over again at A. Just like the notes of the piano or of the guitar, once you hit G sharp, you start again at A, so you only need to learn up to 12 tones like we talked about before, up to the 12th fret, and then this will repeat again. One of the first things you should do to memorize this pattern is to start with the open strings and memorize these 6 open strings tuning to E, A, D, G, B, E, and do it in reverse, E, B, G, D, A, E, and go back and forth like that, and practice memorizing the open strings, because as soon as you have that, then you can use the tools that we talked about earlier to walk up each string and memorize those letters. Now, the second thing that I would do is play all of the A's. I would start by playing this A here, and then maybe this A at the 12th fret on the A string, and then the A here on the D string, the G string, then up here on the B string, and then again here on the E string, and then play them in reverse. Go to the B string, the G string, D string, A string, and E string, and make sure you can play all the A notes, and do that with a metronome, practicing in time. And then go and play all of the B notes as well, forward and reverse, and then the C notes and so on. After you've gone through all those notes like that, then try 2 notes at a time, A and B on every position. And then when you're done with that, try 3 notes at a time, A, B, C. So gradually increase this each practice as you work on these notes. Once you've got a pretty good grasp of this, the next step you're going to want to take is learning what are called the diatonic modes. There's 7 scales across the fretboard that include all of these notes that we've discussed today, and check that out in this video right here. If you like this video, be sure to give me a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and click that bell so you don't miss anything.